All right, let's talk about a science-backed secret to unlocking your focus. This is a method that's all about helping you get more done while finally beating that feeling of constant nagging burnout. You know that feeling, right? You're having a great day, you're totally in the zone, and then bam, it's like you hit a brick wall. It feels like your brain just flips an off switch and no amount of coffee is going to turn it back on. But what if that wasn't a failure? What if that's just how you're supposed to work? We've all heard this a million times. Just push through it. It's the battle cry of hustle culture telling us to just grind harder, work longer. Well, that idea is the exact myth we're about to bust wide open. That's right. This popular belief that more hours automatically equals more success is in a direct fight with how your body is actually built to operate. And, spoiler alert, it's a battle you are biologically destined to lose every single time. So, if we're not supposed to just push through, then how are our brains wired for peak performance? Well, the secret isn't endurance. It's all about rhythm. Think about it this way. We all know sleep isn't just one long, deep blackout, right? We cycle through different stages all night long: light sleep, deep sleep, REM. Well, it turns out our waking hours work the exact same way. We have these natural cycles of high energy and focus, which are always followed by a necessary dip for recovery. And this gets to the most crucial point. If you're struggling to focus for hours on end, you are not lazy. You're not undisciplined. You're simply working against your own biology. You're trying to sprint a marathon when your body was actually built for a series of powerful, repeated dashes. Okay, so let's put some science behind this. This rhythm that governs our focus and energy, it has a specific name, and more importantly, a specific time frame that you can actually use. It's called the ultradian rhythm. Now, you've probably heard of the circadian rhythm. That's our big 24-hour sleep-wake clock. Ultradian rhythms are much shorter cycles that happen all day long. The best way to think of them is like waves of energy. You ride the crest of the wave for a period of high performance, but you simply cannot stay on top of that wave forever. Eventually, it's going to crash. So, how long is that wave? Well, a ton of research points to an average of about 90 minutes. But, and this is super important, that's an average, not a strict rule. Your personal peak might be closer to 75 minutes, or maybe even 110. The key is you've got to start paying attention to your body's signals to find out what your number is. During that peak block of time, your energy is high, your focus is laser sharp, and your output is just top-notch. But the moment you try to push past that point, your focus and your energy don't just dip a little bit, they absolutely plummet. It's like falling off a cliff. The work you try to do in that state of decline isn't just less effective. It can actually hurt you, leading to mistakes and rework that costs you more time later. So what are the real consequences of just ignoring your body's signals and pushing through? Well, you get burnout for one. You get that awful mental fog where you can't seem to think straight. You can even get what scientists call sleep inertia. You know that groggy, slow feeling you have right when you wake up? Yeah, you get that in the middle of the afternoon. Your creativity dries up, and you start making simple, silly mistakes. Okay, so we've laid out the problem and the science behind it. Now let's get to the most important part. How do we actually use this knowledge to work with our biology instead of constantly fighting it? This really breaks it down, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the grind. That's what most of us do. Long hours, chugging caffeine to fight fatigue, and heading straight for burnout. But on the other side, you have the rhythm. Working in strategic pulses of focus, followed by scheduled rest. The result isn't burnout, it's high-quality, sustainable performance. And here's the game plan. It's a super simple 3-step cycle. First, you commit to about 90 minutes of intense, single-tasked work. Notifications, no distractions. Second, and this is honestly the hardest and most important part, when the timer goes off, you stop. You just stop. I don't care if you're mid-sentence. And finally, step 3, you take a genuine 20-minute break to let your brain fully recharge. And let's be crystal clear about what a true break is. It is not switching from your work spreadsheet to scrolling social media or checking emails. That's just switching tasks. A true break means disconnecting completely. Stand up, walk around, look out a window, listen to some music, do something that lets your brain actually be idle for a bit. That's where the real magic of recovery happens. So ultimately, this is the big shift in thinking we need to make. True, sustainable productivity isn't a test of your endurance. It's not about how long you can grind it out. It's about how well you can work with your natural rhythm. It's a pretty powerful shift, isn't it? Instead of always asking, how can I work harder? The much better question becomes, how can I work smarter with the energy cycles I already have? Because the secret isn't finding more fuel, it's mastering your engine's natural rhythm.